George H.W. Bush took millions of documents to a former bowling alley and a former Chinese restaurant where they combined them. So they're in a bowling alley / Chinese restaurant.
Okay. So Donald Trump stole a bunch of classified documents. That just happened. That's a thing, it's indisputable. And every day we greet the day to some dumbass excuse for why he shouldn't suffer any legal consequences for knowingly, repeatedly breaking the law. Now, it's that George H.W. Bush was hanging out in a bowling alley Chinese place or something with documents, and they should really look into it. And it's weird that they're not looking into it. I mean, it's not super weird that they're not looking into it, considering that George H.W. Bush died 4 years ago. But I don't want to like spoil that for Trump. He's still catching up on reality. So anyway, we're gonna fact check this stupid theory of his, because it turns out it's not accurate. Back in 1994, the AP reported that items from Bush's personal life were being sorted in College Station, Texas, in the old Chimney Hill Bowl. Now, it is true that part of it used to be part of a Chinese restaurant. However, uniformed guards patrolled the premises. There are closed circuit television monitors and sophisticated electronic detectors along walls and doors. There were some printed material that was classified and would remain so for years, open only to those with top secret clearances, because of the guards. Now, Robert Holzweiss is the deputy director of the Bush Library, a member of the team that worked at that former site, told People magazine earlier this year that it had been common for presidential library staffers to convert seemingly unusual venues into transitional spaces as the final building is being constructed, because what do you know, Trump left off, that's not where the documents stayed, that was a transitional space. He also left off some other things, which we're gonna turn to, but as examples of this, Ronald Reagan's documents and personal effects were housed in an old pasta factory. Bill Clinton's were in a used car dealership. Barack Obama's went to a former furniture store. Now, why all of these rich politicians are doing this, I have no idea, but they're all doing it, whether Democrat or Republican, so let's just get that straight. And importantly, it's not just that there were guards and cameras and it was locked down and all that. It wasn't Bush's place. It was run by the National Archives. It had security procedures set in place by the government, not by George H.W. Bush. Now, Trump, on the other hand, hid the hundreds of thousands of pages from the National Archives, with the Secret Service having no idea where the documents even were. And so, yes, there are a few differences between what happened at Mar-a-Lago and what happened at the bowling alley Chinese place. Bit of bad news for Donald Trump when it comes to the document scandal at Mar-a-Lago. The DOJ apparently has an employee of his who has been working with them and revealing some bombshells, including the main one, which is that he told federal agents, he or she, we don't know, probably he, that Donald Trump told him to move boxes of documents at Mar-a-Lago. Specifically, it was Donald Trump that said that. And specifically, this came after multiple rounds of the National Archives and other related bodies trying to get back the classified documents. So in response to that, he specifically told his employees to move documents to his residence to try to hide them away. You cannot claim that you're not breaking the law when you're specifically trying to cover up the evidence that you're breaking the law. But let's give you all of what we know at this point. So, told federal agents about this. This is direct from the employee. The employee is cooperating with the Justice Department, has been interviewed multiple times already by federal agents. And people familiar with the ongoing investigation say that agents have gathered witness accounts indicating that after Trump advisors received a subpoena back in May for any classified documents that remained at Mar-a-Lago, Trump told people, you gotta get the boxes out of there. You gotta get them somewhere that they won't be able to find them. And apparently it isn't just the multiple witnesses saying that. They have security camera footage showing people moving the boxes. That's according to these sources. Now, what's interesting is that this main witness that's driving so much of this news coverage today initially denied handling sensitive documents or the boxes that might contain such documents. But as the investigation gathered more evidence, they decided to re-interview this witness. And once they presented the evidence they had, the witness was like, oh, oh, you said classified. I thought you said grassified. Oh no, I did handle classified documents. Suddenly the story changed, and that's when they admitted that they had been moving these boxes. And what is even more damning is that that's that one main person, but there are apparently multiple people working with the DOJ. Multiple witnesses have already told the FBI that they tried to talk Trump into cooperating with the NARA investigation and the DOJ, but he just wasn't having it. Like they would not listen to his attempts to get him to comply with the law. And he apparently in particular grew angry this spring after a House Oversight Committee investigation was launched, telling aides they'd screwed up the situation. They're my documents, Trump said, according to an aide who spoke with him. And I don't know, is the aide one of the witnesses that they're already talking about? Is it that main employee? Are there 15 different people working with the DOJ? I don't know, but what seems to be the case, both with Christina Bobb, Trump lawyer, who we've been talking about for the last week or so, and then this person is, these are not Stephanie Grishams or whatever. These are not people who are like looking to stick it to Trump. They initially defended him. But then once you start presenting evidence that they've now implicated themselves, or they might be implicated in breaking the law, then suddenly they're kind of forced to work against Donald Trump. And that's the position that he put them in.